Welcome to Guide to IELTS. The idiom we are going to discuss today is in the wake of, and two other closely related idioms, leave in one's wake and leave a wake of. Now, the most common usage of the word wake is to get up from sleep. However, these idioms convey what happens as a result of something. There are minor differences in the meaning of these. In the wake of means as a consequence of something or as a result of something. And leave a wake of or leave in one's wake is when something leaves a lingering effect, usually a negative effect. Lingering means something that has a long-term effect, something that keeps on happening for a long time. A few sample sentences. A strict law to tackle the worsening situation was passed in the wake of increasing crime. They chose to cancel the celebrations in the wake of the recent death in the family. In the wake of the increasing awareness of the damage climate change is causing, many youngsters are up in arms about it. In all of these, we can replace in the wake of with as a consequence of or as a result of or because of. In the last sentence, we have introduced another idiom, to be up in arms about or over something. That is to be very angry about something. Sample sentences are on your screen. The other two idioms, leave a wake of or leave in one's wake. Sample sentences. The earthquake left a trail of destruction in its wake. That is to say that after the earthquake, there was a lot of damage and destruction, the effect of which lasted a long time. Another sentence. The earthquake left a wake of damaged buildings and uprooted trees. Next. Insensitive people leave many hurt feelings in their wake without realizing it. And last one, something that a lot of students can relate to. By marking the paper strictly, the teacher left a wake of despondent students. Despondent is very sad and upset. So, if in part 1 of IELTS Speaking, you're asked the question, when was the last time you took a vacation? Your answer could be, about a month ago. In the wake of the long hours I put in during my exams, I badly needed a vacation. Therefore, I went for an impromptu weekend getaway. In part 2 of IELTS Speaking, if you get a cue card asking you to describe a piece of advice you received, this could be part of your answer. In the wake of not doing too well in my favorite subject, science, I was pretty confused about the subjects to opt for in my high school. Of course, it's a crucial decision, so I discussed it with my cousin, who's elder to me, and he certainly gave me good advice and helped me. Similarly, while talking about describe a time when you faced some difficulty, something that can be part of your answer is, the pandemic period left a wake of emotionally distraught families. Unfortunately, mine was one of them. However, we powered through it, and I think that was only possible because we stood by one another. Again, two new idioms have been mentioned here. To power through something, to continue working on something even though it is difficult, and to stand by someone, to support someone. Sample sentences are on your screen. And in one of these sample sentences, that is, a true friend stands by us through thick and thin, we have introduced another idiom, through thick and thin, that is, through good and bad times both. A sample question from part 3 of IELTS. What challenges could you face while working for family business? Answer. Not that I have any personal experience in this, but I guess in the wake of working in a family business, there could be the issue of egos clashing. Also, if you work with the same people that you live with, there might also be the problem of overlapping personal and private lives. Next question. How important is it to be aware of environmental issues? Answer. Extremely crucial, I'd say. We need to understand that a careless attitude towards environment leaves a wake of lingering issues such as increased natural disasters and poverty. Therefore, we need to act on alleviating these issues on a personal as well as societal level. Now let's see a couple of examples from the essay writing, that is writing task 2 of IELTS. If you're asked a question about climate change and how it affects businesses, a sentence that can be used is, in the wake of climate crisis rearing its ugly head over the last decade, there has been a growing call globally for climate change mitigation. Again, one more idiom has been used in this sentence, rear its ugly head, which means something unpleasant appearing and becoming noticeable. Next sample essay question about school education being useless. A sentence that can be used is, a careless attitude towards educating the younger generation will leave a society of miscreants in its wake. Miscreant means a person who does something wrong or unlawful. Finally, a few quotations using these idioms. The first one is by film producer Linda Obst. It is just as important to move on in the wake of stunning success as in the wake of disaster. Next one by activist David Silverman, one that makes you pause and think. Nobody finds God in the wake of destruction. Very few atheists will look at the Hurricane Katrina or a tsunami and think, oh my, there's a God. Next one is by the author Brian J. Sorrells about finding stories everywhere. Inside every bent stick, there's a bow, and in the wake of every arrow's passing, there lies a story. Next by the actor Michael J. Fox about not giving up and trying to make the best of every situation. You suffer the blow, but you capitalize on the opportunity left in its wake. Another author also talking about finding stories, this one by Pat Conroy. I can forgive almost any crime if a great story is left in its wake. The last one, comparatively a longer one, by the journalist Tony Parsons. To me, this quote is about admiring the romantics, but there's a bit of criticism in there too. Anyway, here goes. Say what you like about those starry eyed souls, about the upheaval and destruction they always leave in their wake. But there is one thing about romantics that nobody can deny: they never settle for second best. That's it for now. We look forward to your comments and feedback. All the very best.